Hi, everybody. Welcome to First Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to our self-healing class. I know Jimmy's already welcomed everybody. We're glad that we have people coming to our center again. This week and last week, we've seen some of you starting to come back into the building, which is great. Our center, as most of you know, in case you're viewing us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook Live, was founded by Raymond Charles Barker. It's always been a healing place. It's been a place that has encouraged people to step out of their limiting conditions and their circumstances into a teaching that allows us to learn how to thrive and heal. We have a metaphysical approach here, a scientific approach. We understand that thoughts are things. We understand there's power. There's power for good in the universe. It's available to us, and we can learn how to use it. It responds to us. Most people are unaware of the power that they actually possess. In fact, there was a time where I was told I'm powerless. And I said that for a number of years. We have plenty of power, so we want to learn how to use our power constructively. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, and also about self-healing, always about self-healing. If you're finding us on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, you're all welcome here. You could send us a chat. Jimmy's got the chat room open, and ask for an invite to the Zoom call. Because after our lessons, both Thursdays and Sundays, we have some time for us to interact. And that's our community time. So send us a message and we can hook you up. And also we have a great e-letter full of spiritual gems, and we have spirit groups in the making. So reach out to Jimmy. He can put you in touch with everything. You can also become a virtual member if you'd like. So just let us know. Tonight's lesson, let's begin, and we'll have some time afterwards in the Zoom call to interact with one another. And again, just send a message to us now, or if you're hearing this a month from now, still send a message and we'll put you in touch with us. Most of you know the book, You Can Heal Your Life. It was written by Louise Hay. What some of you don't know is Louise Hay was a student of this center. She did tremendous good in the world. I now believe over 70 million people have been impacted by her book. She was one of the most popular authors of the past 100 years. 70 million people is a lot of people. And she started here at this center with us with the same powerful ideas that we teach every week. We use her material. We use other teachers like Ernest Holmes, Myrtle Fillmore, Wayne Dyer, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and many others. We're all about healing, self-healing. We're about consciousness, right? I've been teaching this teaching material every week since about 1987, and I can attest that this teaching works. It works wonders, and there's no area of your life that you can't improve when you're practicing this teaching. You can, in fact, heal your life. You can improve most anything, really. And you can and you will notice the change rather quickly. There will be a quickening that will happen for you if you apply, if you do the work. Today, I was borrowing ideas from another great teacher, in addition to Louise Hay. Mrs. Fillmore was one of the founding people, founders of the Unity movement. And she was a teacher like all the other teachers I just mentioned. And I'm going to add a few of her comments or suggestions in today's discussion. First of all, anybody who can follow the principles of truth can be healed of just about anything. It can be a financial problem or a relationship problem or a self-esteem issue, problems of anger, problems of, all the problems that anybody faces in their day-to-day living can be healed if you learn how to practice this teaching. Here's the thing, though. It requires more than a simple petition of prayer. When I was a young kid in the church, I was an altar boy, and I learned how to petition God. That would be, "Dear God, please help me, and I'll never do it again if." That's a petition. That's kind of like called a foxhole prayer. When you're up against it, you're like crying out for help and all that, right? Please don't petition God. Don't beg or don't do anything like that. Please, please, please. It doesn't work that way. It requires something more of you than begging and petitioning. To do effective healing work and to manifest your dreams into successful prayer work, to manifest your desires, you're going to have to learn how to align yourself with what the universe is about. And I'll give you a little hint. It's peace, power, love, joy, beauty, and wisdom. So there's going to be a change within you that's going to move toward God or towards Source. We're going to align ourselves with the givingness of life. And then we have to start developing some spiritual habits, muscle. We have to level up or step up out of the world that we've been living and the choices we've been making. And there's always something there to remind you, and that's an old song, but there's always something within you that's speaking to you. As said to me probably 25 years ago, you know, and you know that you know. Nobody has to tell you if you're right or wrong or if you're on the beam. There is that which is within you that always knows. So we're here to learn how to kindle that flame within and to master the possibilities, which are really endless. We need only a plan that works. There's a popular Disney cartoon character that I've recently become aware of. He or she is called Special Agent Oso. Did you get me the picture? Well, Special Agent Oso, one of his sayings is, it's all a part of the plan. So whatever the heck has gone on in your life, whatever is happening in your life, whatever's been happening in your life, it's all part of the plan. So you're going to heal, you're going to transform, you got to have a plan. And we have to have a plan that will work and that we can employ and we can stick to. And something that, has a little bit of consistency to it. It's kind of like, I've been teaching religious science for, I don't know, since around 1990 or something like that. And I've seen people come in and drop into our centers here and there. They love what we say, but not everybody wants to do the work. Not everybody wants to stick and stay, and so they go back out into a world where nothing works well for them. And that's really the way the masses mostly work. Oh, there's my Special Agent Oso, if you can see him. Special Agent Oso will tell you everything's part of the plan. So whatever you've been doing and whatever has been going on, whatever you've lost, whatever you've suffered, whatever you've been through, whatever you've put yourself through, was all part of the plan. It's gotten you to a place now where you have wisdom, or at least more wisdom than you did before. You're in a higher place. You're in a different place. You're definitely in a better place of understanding. So we're here to learn how to master the possibilities, right? You can have a great life. There's nothing and no one stopping you. We intend in this teaching to create a world that works for ourselves, right? To create a world where nothing and no one is against us. Well, how do you suppose that can ever happen? If you want to create a world where nothing and no one is against you, it begins with you. It begins with your very important conversation. The one that matters most. It's the one that you're having with you. It's part of the reason I teach this class for 25 years. Because your inner conversation, your inner dialogue is always reflected in your world. It's all about you, and it's entirely up to you. So if we want to master the possibilities and we want to have a greater life, you can. We intend to learn here, to plug in every week, to bring our friends and to plug in, to be reminded of the truth of who you are and what you are, and to engage in regular spiritual practices that encompass our mind and our body and our soul. So regular means regular. That's not once every 3 months. It's not once every, I remember taking these classes. It's probably 30 years ago. And I remember telling the teacher, I used to go down and eat at the Krishna temple. And I said, those monks are there chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Rama, there were like 6 or 7 different words that meant God. And they were so blissed. And my teacher said, well, if you were out there thinking about God all day long and chanting God, you'd be blissed out of your gourd too. So the thing is, where do you put your time and where do you put your attention? We center ourselves in this teaching first in our prayer process. We center ourselves and we realize that there's power and we're part of it. We're one with it. And we come to know as we learn to work with our plan that it's in us, operating through us, and it responds to us. Nothing's going to happen for you by your just wishing things will improve. Nothing's going to happen for you by merely hoping for the best. I learned that from Ernest Holmes years ago. We talked about wishing and hoping, wishing and hoping. From my days at Unity many years ago, when I taught at Unity, there was a suggestion that we begin to learn how to center ourselves. Take a time out, take a chill pill, learn to calm yourself down and be quiet. Be still and know that you're God. Do whatever it takes until you sense that there is a peace and there's a power and a presence within you operating through you, because there is. There really is. And you won't notice it unless you slow yourself down enough so you can get in touch and sense it and feel it. Do whatever you need to do to bring yourself to that place. Do that, because that has to be the first step of the plan for conscious spiritual expansion, or any hope of you manifesting the kind of life you want. We intend in this teaching every Thursday night, every Sunday, to get to that place and to remind you of that place, which is buried and it's deep inside you. You have that place within you. You have the power within you that can move mountains and take you any place you want to go. So everything in life is interconnected. You know that. I hope you do. If you're hearing this for the first time, you're on the right call, hearing the right message. And no one winds up here by accident. So everything in life is interconnected. Bring yourself to a place where you realize that all is one and all is well. And all that contradictory stuff that's running inside of you, running around your head, and I can understand because I have a version of it too. We have to learn how to cancel it out. Are you in a place yet where you recognize that everything that's going on in your outer world is a reflection of what's going on in your inner world? Are you in a place now where you realize that you are one with spirit? If not, just stay in the conversation, keep plugging in. A beautiful line, took me a long time to understand, is this: in truth, there's nothing outside of you. The outer world is always a reflection of our inner world and understanding. You might stand in front of a mirror tonight and say to yourself, in truth, there's nothing outside of me. Begin to tell yourself, in truth, there's nothing outside of me. I'm creating my life. I'm the author of my experience. At CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living, all our members, everybody who's engaged in our classes, learn how to do effective prayer, not petitioning prayer, but effective prayer, affirmative prayer. Our form of prayer is very powerful. It's a powerful process. But once again, the very first step in self-healing and demonstrating the kind of life that you've come here to express involves yourself centering yourself and bringing yourself into a place of recognition within your being, a recognition, a realization that you are one with this power. We recognize that there is only one power, one energy, one presence, never two. One life, a presence, and that life is our life now. Everything you look at and can think of, and everyone you can think of, is part of this unifying field of energy. Once you have an idea of that within you, a bit of that down within your being, you've got part of the plan. And it might take some time for you to cultivate that understanding, but it's worth every bit of the effort. So we want to unify all the different parts of ourselves where we have different and competing ideas, conflicting ideas. We want to understand that there are no outsiders. There's no bad guys, no good guys, no bad guys. We have to get to the place where we understand that everything that you can witness and think about and see in the world is consciousness evolving. We know that there is only love or only divine energy unfolding in us and in the world. It's all part of the plan. I'll say it again. We know there's only love or divine energy unfolding in us and in all the world. It's all part of the plan. Spiritual growth and awareness, expanding in everyone all the time. There is only one power in operation in all places and in all people. Now, Emerson would have said, the dice of God are always loaded. And what he meant by it is there is a conspiracy, if you will, of unfolding good in the world everywhere. We're letting go of traditions that used to mean something. We're letting go of the baggage of the past. And each generation is stepping forward in greater freedom. Whatever we observe, whether we like it or not, is spirit unfolding. If you're in this teaching for any length of time, you begin to notice it, you begin to see it, you bear witness to it, you feel it, you sense it, and you become aware of it. You start to have a sense of, it's a serendipitous thing. You start to see it all over the place. You're a witness to it. So if you're here, you want to build up that awareness so you can execute the plan, your plan. You might affirm each day that your life is a spiritual life. You might say to yourself, my life is a spiritual life. My world is a spiritual world. And you might say, I'm always in the perfect place. And you want to say these things till you start to believe them, right? My world is a spiritual world, and I'm in the right place right now. And all is well. All is well. Another great one many of you know and have heard said often, I'm in the perfect place, the perfect time, and all of the time. I like that one. I've been using that one for a decade or more. I'm in the perfect place, the perfect time, and all of the time. And then just don't let anybody shake you from that. I'm in the perfect place, perfect time, and all the time. Engage your plan, work your plan by daily declaring these types of statements. You could say to yourself, as Louise might have, my life is good. My life right now is wonderful. My spiritual life and world are in a perfect place. I'll throw out the question. It's just one rhetorical question. Do you believe that your life and your world are really wonderful and perfect? If not, why not, right? You have the ability to turn it around. I've told you that already. If you don't have that consciousness yet or that faith, then let's go back to the first part of the plan. Let's calm ourselves and center ourselves and bring it all together and realize the perfection of life now. There is one undivided consciousness, one life, one love, one energy, and you're sharing in that energy, whether you know it or not. So go there. I mean, we're going through an interesting year. There's been a pandemic. There's been other pandemics. I've lived through polio pandemic, the AIDS pandemic, the can't say this was coronavirus pandemic. But for yourself, declare that all is well. Declare that your outlook towards life is wonderful. Say, I have positive expectancy in all things, and say it until you mean it. Because it's when you believe it, you will activate the law. And when you think of your health, no matter what the condition, or what conditions you might be dealing with, declare that my health is good. My body is healing. I am expressing healing ideas all the time. So, how do these statements feel as you hear me saying them? Does it make you feel like yes, 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 or does it show you where you need to do some work? It doesn't matter. It's just that all of these ideas are true. The thing is, you want to bring them into your life so they're true for you. So the first step in spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer, is that first step where you quiet yourself and you recognize that there's power, and you allow yourself to sense it and feel it. You can actually feel it. I recognize, I know that there's power. There's one power in the universe, and that power is in me right now. And you take some time with that so you can sense it. The universe is always wooing us. It tries to get our attention. Every time you really screw up and you know you've screwed up, listen to that, because it's telling you something. It's instantly telling you something. There's power within you that speaks to you, and it's guiding you and wooing you. And it's here to bring all things together within you. It's more than just a meditation we do in the first step. We recognize that there's power, and let yourself do that. And as you contemplate these ideas even now, no matter what comes up in the way of any disbelief or doubt, say to yourself, I release this now. And I release the need to believe this anymore. My life is fine. I'm in good shape, and all is well. And know right now that all is well with you. And furthermore, know that all is well with everyone else. Pays big dividends to center yourself in the truth this way. It's the very starting point of the plan. If you want to become a metaphysical student, if you want to become a super attractor, if you want to become a person who can level up and demonstrate, then center yourself and reclaim the place of power within you, because it's always there and it's always trying to get your attention. It's great to have hope, but hope sadly won't take you all the way. If you're wishing and you're hoping, you're not yet in a place of belief. We want to get to the place of knowing and believing in our spiritual power. We want to bring ourselves to a place where we know that we're okay. We want to bring ourselves to a place where we know that we're even more than okay, that we're really fantastic, and that it's getting better and better for us every day. Remember my father many years ago saying to me, wishing it so won't make it so. And he was right. He was right then. It's still right. Wishing it so won't make it so. So I'm trying to tell you something important now. Don't wish for things. Know that you have power at the center of your being. Know that you're okay. Know that you're fine. Know that you're healthy. Know that you're good. Know that you're valuable. Know that you're a center of light and love and peace and prosperity. Claim it, know it, because it's the truth. But you might say, oh, but you don't know. These are challenging times. And I've been challenged. And you go into the story, right? So as soon as you catch yourself in those places of ain't it awful and poor me, stop in the name of love before you break your own heart, right? Stop that stuff and center yourself and realize that you are an inlet and outlet of God activity, and the universe is listening to your every single thought and responding to every thought you think. We as a population, as human beings, could collectively be going through something, and individually we might be going through something. Okay, so what's new with that? As humankind has always progressed, it's been going through something. It's been going through evolution. And there's new times and new circumstances. And then personally, all of us, I've been around the planet a long time now, and I've been through a lot, and so have the rest of you. So the things that have happened in your life, if you properly understand them, or every single one of them were to bring you to a higher place of understanding. So nothing, if you really understand the way things work spiritually, things haven't happened to you, things have happened for you to to bring you to a higher place of understanding. The fact and the truth is that you're bigger than anything in your life right now, and you're bigger than anything you've ever experienced. So I want you to know this, and I want you to say these things to yourself. I'm fine. I'm real good. And I'm strong. And I'm bigger than all this. And all of this has been part of the plan. And I want you to know there's nothing in your world that's bigger than you. The conditions in your life, none of them have consciousness. You're the driving force in your life. You're the person who has consciousness. And you have the ability to, push all that stuff away and create a new reality. The point of power is always in the present moment. I might have brought a lot of things into my life, some pain, some heartache, maybe some disease. Might have brought a lot of things in my life. It doesn't really matter. None of these conditions are bigger than you are. So I want you to remember that and say to yourself, I am supplied and supported. I am truly supplied and supported. I want you to bring yourself to a point where you believe in your dreams again, and you know that the universe is always sending you green lights. It's all an open. You get to write the chapters of your life. You get to be the author of your own experience. You get to release all the old agreements that have held you back, and you get to be in the now and create everything you sense and you feel deep within your being that you've come here to create. In your daily practice, declare that your spiritual life and your world is in a perfect place right now. And so it is, and so it shall be. So we have this plan, we have this way, and it's simple to follow. All we have to do is engage it, stay mindful, and develop our powers, our faith. And as we do this, all these obstacles will clear away. In my lifetime, I've seen people go through, again, polio, AIDS, pandemic, coronavirus, and other things too. And as I said before, we are always more than what is in our life. One thing I've learned as a religious science student is we're here to stretch, we're here to learn, and we're here to grow. We will meet each and every obstacle, and we're going to view them going forward as opportunities, one and all, for growth. We are always more. We have the ability, we have the power in us to cancel and neutralize any obstacle that's in our path. Cancel, 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 and cancel again. Make that big thing that's been bothering you disappear. Make it smaller and smaller and smaller. We have a plan, and this is all in the plan. We're going to practice. We're going to practice some more. We will heal our lives as we develop confidence, as we learn to love ourselves more and more. We are confident now that we are stronger than ever before. This center is doing important work, as you all know, and we're not coming down. And I would love you to have that be your own personal motto too. I'm doing important work, and I'm not coming down. We intend to cultivate immense faith, knowing everything in our life and the world itself is unfolding for greater good. And we're not caught up in what people are saying on the news. We're not caught up in any of it, because we live our life seeing what's wonderful and what's good and what's true. Everything that's needed is coming together for us remarkably, beautifully, wonderfully now. We know by practicing the affirmative life and by participating in our classes, we are the lifters in the world. We're the ones that lead, we're the ones that lift, because we have the consciousness that sees the greater good. And we know as we participate in living the affirmative life and we participate in our classes that we're lifted up higher and higher. We're supplied and supported in every way and all ways. And we know that the future is bright for us, and it's bright for the world itself. We release the need to be worried about everyone in the world, because we know everyone is where they are by right of their consciousness, and everyone is evolving along at their own time and pace. I'll close with a couple ideas. We know that everything is fine. We know that suffering's not of God. Misery is truly optional. So we release the need for worry. We release the need for anger, judgments. We know that everything's in a process of restoration and improvement, and it's all in the plan. One more thing. We resolve to take nothing personally and to let go of each day, let go of old ideas and attachments, ideas of struggle, and all of that. Our life was not meant to be a struggle. Our life was meant to be experiencing bliss and joy and peace and happiness and growth. I think that'll be a good place to stop. So we're going to see you at the other side of the break, where you can tell us what it's been like being you this week and what you're demonstrating. Okay, so see you in about 2 minutes. Thank you.